lovers, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation, don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the runner-up and Rookie of the Year balloting Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns as they square off against the #1 overall pick, Kyler Murray, and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers are 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals taking over, and they do so behind the #1 overall pick of the draft. That's Kyler Murray out of Oklahoma. Rare talent indeed. First man to be drafted in the top 10 of 2 sports, baseball being the other. He's got his work cut out for him. The Cardinals trying to rebound from a 3-13 campaign. This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. That goes for 14 yards, first down Cardinals.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This is Kenyon Drake, the 4th-year man from Alabama. And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Now a man who punted for the Browns in 2015, Andy Leon, to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here.
Let's go, baby.
The Browns ready to go to work here on offense, and their man behind center, well, that's Baker Mayfield, the #1 overall pick last season, who set a rookie record with 27 touchdown passes. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Hey, switch
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
keep on coming, baby. Keep coming.
And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
I'm excited about the opportunity to watch David Njoku play because he's turned into a heck of a threat for Cleveland, both close to the line of scrimmage and downfield. The second leading receiver for the Browns in 2018. He was the third of 3 first-round picks in 2017, and he's quickly showed his value.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Alert!
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Mayfield. And that is going to be incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Watch twitch.
Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first. A lot of people felt Johnson was a little misused during what was a disappointing 2018. 940 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. Great for most, but not the season Johnson was hoping for. And he said this offseason, there are a lot of good running backs in the NFL, but I'm the best. And now he's trying to prove it, hoping to get back to the production that sent him to the Pro Bowl in 2016. That would certainly help his rookie quarterback. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Second down, Murray sets to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a gain of 34.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Now a throw into the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
To throw, it's Murray. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. They run right side with Hunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Here's Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time. On 4th down, they snap it to Mayfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. Then the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk for a Cardinals touchdown. Christian Kirk, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A give right side now to Hunt. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Brings up second and 9.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it second and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on second and 6, Murray. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. Nice pass that time by the #1 pick, Kyler Murray. Also drafted 9th in the Major League Baseball draft. He's the only person ever to be taken top 10 in both sports. Go back to his Allen High School days in Texas. He was 42-0 as a starting quarterback. Freshman year he was at Texas A&M, then the transfer to Oklahoma, sat behind Baker Mayfield. Then his opportunity came last year. Boy, did he make the most of it. Won the Heisman Trophy and led the Sooners to the college football playoff. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustment.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson with his second touchdown here in this first half. Here the Cardinals push further out in front. They were able to push him backwards on first down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got?
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Here we go. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Mike, check.
First down, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Shelby. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Mayfield to throw it. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. We've seen this offense do some unconventional things thus far, but they couldn't go for it on fourth down here, could they?
Could someone patch us into the head coach's headset? Punt the ball.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mack Wilson gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Murray now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mack Wilson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Browns drive about to get started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Now a give, right side. Hunt. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a third time here on fourth down. Throwing, Mayfield. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. Then the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. Murray now on first down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on second down, it's Murray. Eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kyler Murray on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cardinals push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. So many connections between the two quarterbacks in this game, Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray, both Heisman Trophy winners. Obviously, you've got the Oklahoma connection, both #1 overall picks. And both also won a state title in high school in the state of Texas. And neither guy is a very tall quarterback. Baker Mayfield at 6'1", Kyler Murray just at 5'10". And all the way down to the 24-yard line. And he will take this all the way down to the Cardinals' 24. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today, a guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Hunt. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And it appears the offense is going to try this again. They've yet to convert the first 3 times on 4th down, but they're going once more. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we sit, we now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll run again with Hunt. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, As many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. Then the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray, he gets this one to Johnson. Then they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? Murray with a 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage. Okay.
Yeah, in this case, when we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Derek Shelby takes him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Mayfield now. Got an open man, it's Ratley. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
You can't block me.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
Check.
They run again with Hunt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Let's go.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 40-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray. Open man is Kirk, complete. Touchdown, Cardinals! Christian Kirk with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, They're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Hunt. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hunt. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative rush coming, and he's taken down. Chandler Jones racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Buda Baker with a pick. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Murray now. Got his man. It's Williams. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2.
Here we go.
Here's Johnson. And he's got some space here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a 1st down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
A little bit of space there for the 1st down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd down. Murray into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Go defense, our time, it's our time.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now a give right side. It's Hunt, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's
8 ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a desperation throw. He's got a man. Complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So often,
and that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Don't go this way.
They'll run on first down. It's Johnson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly